all focus on the EU and what's playing out on that front, and
Yes.
the situation further exacerbated with all that's gone on with MD Dominique Strauss-Kahn.
Yes, the IMF. Now that's a nice pickle. Did anybody discuss this on the channel today?
Absolutely.
Oh, good. So it's not like, you know, the TMZ celebrity gossip issue which nobody wanted to touch.
No, absolutely. Just because of the fact that we're looking at possible delays of uncertainty here.
Well, and, you know, the idea is that the IMF assumes that, you know, because the boss is in trouble, that some kind of functional kind of problem with the organization might occur. But, of course, that's just the kind of nonsense that the market gets kind of wrapped up in. Because clearly, I mean, it's a huge organization. It's got all sorts of fingers and all sorts of pies, and it's not going to be affected by this kind of thing. Although it is really amazing that someone in that position gets caught in this kind of mess. I've already offered my services as his replacement.
Any response?
I don't need to fly first class to New York. I promise I'll leave the chambermaids, you know, entirely, you know, to their own devices. But there is talk that Trevor Manuel could be a potential replacement.
What are you making of that?
Probably nothing, because, you know, in terms of the laws of these things, the you know, UN chief comes from somewhere, and then the World Bank chief comes from somewhere else, and then this one apparently goes to the French. So,
well, talking about teetering, very quickly, we've got to touch on the Massmart, Wal-mart hearings that concluded today.
Very worrying. I mean, the tweets that have been coming out from journalists there suggest that Walmart's been making comments indicating that it won't be prepared to put up with, you know, onerous conditions, and I think that's right. It's just such a crazy situation. We say we want foreign investment, but then we're, you know, throwing up all sorts of obstacles. But I guess that's kind of what happens in a country that's quite conflicted about its economic policy. And before I go, one comment about the Vodacom results. I mean, for me, a wonderful expose of how private capital in South Africa achieves so much if left to its own devices with a relatively light regulatory hand.
Well, subtle that is.